Hello everyone and welcome to another science video with the Massachusetts Regional Library. I'm Miss Stephanie, one of the children's librarians here, and today I have a very fun experiment for you guys to do. And what we're going to do involves energy. And energy is to make something or move something or make it just change in general. And like, for example, like we use coal and oil that we get from the ground and we change this, make energy to us to have power, like for our lights and for our tablets and phones. And the thing though about coal and oil though is we have to dig in the ground to get it, and there's only so much around the world. However, there we have the sun, and that is also another way to get energy to power our things or to cook things, as we are going to do with our experiment today. And because the sun, we can't do this on a cloudy day, but when it's nice and sunny out, the sun is what's called renewable energy. It's like it keeps coming. You don't have to find it or dig it in the ground. It's just there, and you can always have an unlimited amount of it. So we're going to use the solar energy and turn it from the light into heat to cook food. And to do that, we are going to make a pizza box oven. And what you're going to need is a few things around your place. And the first thing you'll of course need is a pizza box. And first, I'd like to thank the Domino's and Lorraine for giving me a few pizza boxes to use for this experiment. And if you can't find one at their pizza place, like after your family eats a pizza, you could just clean out the bottom of it and use it as well for your solar oven. And the other things that you'll need for your experiment are black construction paper, a paper plate. I use black because black absorbs heat. You'll need some duct tape. You can decorate your solar oven as well. You can use markers or paint. You'll need a pair of good scissors. You'll need plastic wrap, aluminum foil. You'll need a dowel rod, or like a ruler works as well. It's to hold the oven up so the sun can use it to heat up. And you'll need whatever you're cooking. Like today, I'm gonna make s'mores. So I got graham crackers, some marshmallows, and chocolate bars. And you can also make other things like nachos or English muffin pizzas with your solar oven as well. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, so I've moved the camera so it's like a wider angle because the pizza box was too big to film this on the table. And I'm going to show you how to make your solar oven. You can decorate it if you want. I painted mine black because black absorbs heat, and I'm hoping that will help cook my s'mores better. But you can just leave your pizza box white. It will cook your whatever you're making as well. Now the first thing we're going to do is we need an opening for the pizza. In the pizza box. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take a pair of scissors. You may need an adult's help with this because it took me a while for the first one. But you poke a hole with your scissors, and then we're going to cut out a square. And I'm going to move this up so it's a little easier for me to cut. And it may take a little while, and I'm doing this experiment by myself, but you know what's really cool if you do it with family and friends, because they can also help you as well, and they can learn about science too. And so let me make this a little bigger, because you want enough sun to come through to cook your food. And so we're going to do another square. We're going to keep going. All right, we're about halfway there. And then we're going to move up, and you want to leave some edges around because we're going to be taping something in a minute to the pizza box. So, almost done, just got one more side to do, as you can see. And I would use a fairly sharp pair of scissors, a bigger pair like mine, as you can see, because this cut through the cardboard pretty easily, but like a smaller pair probably wouldn't do a very good job. And so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take the piece that we just cut up. I'm just going to put this aside for a minute, and we're going to wrap it in aluminum foil. And aluminum foil is going to reflect the sunlight into our oven. So I'm going to wrap it around, and it should stay, but if you're having some trouble with it falling off, then I would use some tape to hold it in place. But it looks like mine is cooperating with me today, which is nice. Yes, so, all right, so that worked out pretty well. And then let's bring this back, and what we're going to do is we're going to tape it right here, because this is what is going to reflect the sunlight in there. And I would use a strong tape like duct tape or this electrical tape that I have here. So let's get some pieces of this out. Although I think this won't be quite big enough to use. So I'm gonna start and see if it is, because sometimes you just have to try things and see if they'll work. And if not, you just try something else. So I'm going to attach it right here. And this is where another person could come in handy too, because they can hold this while you tape it. But you can still do it by yourself too. All right, there we go. I'm getting the edge. I'm gonna need some, it's staying up a little well. So let's try some tape over here. I need to cut this with my scissors. All right. And, oh good, it looks like it's staying in place. So then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to tape some plastic wrap on it, and this is going to seal it and kind of keep the energy and the heat into the pizza box to cook the food. And this is called like a kind of a greenhouse. If you've seen a greenhouse where they keep fruits and vegetables, like it's enclosed, like it completely has glass all around it, and that's what keeps the heat in to make the plants grow. So plastic wrap can be tricky, but I will get a piece. And you'll probably need to tape this one in place. I think that would be the best idea. And make sure it covers all of the square. You don't want it to leak out, so any heat or energy to leak out. So it won't cook your food quite as well. So let me make this a little smaller, because the sides were a little big. And then what we'll do is I'm going to get my tape back out, and I'm going to tape it all around the edges, making sure it's super tight. All right, let's see. Okay, so let's start with this end. Let me fold this in so it's a little easier for me to see where I need to put the plastic. Hold on 1 second, guys. This pizza box is not cooperating with me. There we go. And it is sticky, so you may have to, it tends to stick together, so you may need to get another piece of the plastic wrap, but I think this might be okay. So I'm going to tape it to this end. Tape some right here. And I'm using black tape because, like I said earlier, the black absorbs the heat. And let's see, good, it does cover the other end. And so we're going to tape that as well, because we want, and you want to make sure that you pull it really tight as you're taping, because you want it to do a really good, like this. And it can be a little awkward, like I'm having a little trouble right now, but I'll just take my time. There's no rush. It's important to, not if you do it quickly, but if you do it so that whatever experiment you're trying to do goes the way that you would like it to go. And I want this oven to cook my food. So I'm going to be very careful. And nope, it's not quite working. Let me try it this way. There we go. It's holding it into place. So I've got 2 more sides to do. And I'm making sure that I'm continuing to pull it tight. So let's tape the side by the aluminum foil next. And that will also help keep the piece with aluminum foil in place as well. So there we go. That's working. And on the last side, I'm just going to make sure it's bunched up. So I'm going to move it out a bit and pull it really tight, because this is the most important part, because it's the last side. And you could maybe do, like, it's kind of working for me, but if it continues to fall out, you could find like maybe a binder clip or some paper clips to hold the plastic wrap in place while you're taping it, if it tends to go everywhere, like kind of like what mine's doing. But now it's actually kind of cooperating with me, which is nice. So I'm going to tape it over here. And let me make sure that it is, see, I got to tape this side too, because it's not quite tight enough. So cut another piece. And we'll tape it as well. That should do a good job. And let me check this. Let's see. This side, oh, there's an opening on this side too, so let's tape that as well. And once you've done taping everything into place, you can trim the plastic wrap if you want, or you could just leave it. It's up to you. I think this is okay now. Oh, there we go, perfect. Okay, so my plastic wrap is now in place, but we need to have something inside of the box to make another thing that's black to absorb the heat as well. So what you're gonna do is I'm going to tape a piece of black construction paper to my box. And since I wanted to do it completely, I'm gonna tape 2 in there. So, and I'm gonna use the black tape again, just extra to absorb the heat. So we'll do it right here. And then just a small piece to make sure that it stays to the bottom of the box. And I'm just gonna put a small piece right here. Well, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make it smaller like this, and I'm gonna stick it underneath the paper, and so it will stay on the bottom. Now, the last thing we need to do before we test out our oven is we'll need to put the box completely together again. All right, and then, oh, my construction paper is too big, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna trim it a little bit. It's not letting me fold the box how I want it to. There we go. That should work a little better now. Okay. Let's see, get it folded in. May take a few tries. Oh, yep, I got it. Excellent. And then what we want to do is we want this to reflect the light, the aluminum foil to reflect the light. And to do that, we need to hold it up with a dowel rod. And so we'll just tape it. We'll put a piece of tape here and a piece of tape here to hold it in place. We don't need to put it too far, just enough so aluminum foil reflects the sunlight into our oven. So let me just get a piece of tape. We'll put it right here, and then I'm going to stick it right here. And this is just, yeah, there we go. And I might have to do some more tape. This part will probably, you'll probably need another person to help you. I'm having a little bit of trouble, not too much, but this is like the 3rd time I've made this, so it's a little easier for me to make it, but having another person around can really help too. And they can also enjoy whatever you're making with you. So, there we go. Is it staying? Yes. Not quite, but I will make it stay. By wrapping one more piece of tape at the bottom to get it to stay. And there we go. So, all right, so now the next step is just to wait for a nice sunny day and we can go cook our food. So let's go outside and see if the sun is out. Okay, so we are trying our s'more experiment again. It was too overcast. The sun wasn't out enough for it to cook a couple days ago, so we're going to try again here in Luray. And the temperature is about 71 degrees, and it's very bright and sunny, so hopefully we will have some s'mores soon. Alright, so it's about 30 minutes after we started, and it looks like our s'mores are done. And as you can see, the chocolate is melted, the marshmallow is a little bigger and puffy because it's been cooked. And they both melted, but it looks like the one that was in the black plate and the black pizza box melted more and it cooked faster because the black absorbs the heat. And so now you know how to make some delicious s'mores with your very own pizza box oven. All right, everyone, I hope you had a fun time making your solar oven and cooking some delicious s'mores or whatever food that you wanted to cook with it. And I just wanted to share a few books that I looked at when I was working on making this video. And the first is actually, which gave me the idea for it, is Iqbal and His Genius Idea: How a Science Project Helps One Family and the Planet. And this talks about a boy named Iqbal and his family who live in India, and his mom uses a wood stove that causes a lot of smoke, a lot of pollution, and he's looking for an idea to help his mom, so she can cook better. And the idea he comes up with is a solar oven, kind of a little different than the one we made, but it's still a little similar in the project, and it has steps on how to make a solar oven here, and it's just a really neat story. And also, if you want to learn how to make some more recipes, science and cooking come together really easily because there's a lot of science to cooking. And this one is called Crave-Worthy Candy Confections. It just talks about how to make candy in your kitchen. You will need an adult with you to make it, but you can do a lot of cool things with it. And my favorite was the gummy stars. They look really delicious. And it talks about temperature and how it's measuring energy, what we talked about earlier about how it changes things, and it just gives you some information about the science behind making delicious candies. And if you want to branch out from candy, I would recommend the Complete Cookbook for Young Scientists. And there were so many good recipes in here. It was so hard for me to choose a good one, but I'm just going to flip to cheesy zucchini and carrot chips. And it has recipes, and there's some that are more difficult than others, which is good, especially if you haven't cooked much. And you'll need your adult too, but it talks about the science of vegetables and how they contain water and how that affects or changes how what you cook it. And there are just so many good experiments in here, and it's just even chicken tenders. There's science behind making chicken tenders, which is really neat too. And they have everything that you need here, so just hopefully you will find a delicious recipe that you enjoy. Well, thank you so much for joining me for another experiment. I hope to share more with you soon. Have a good day. Bye.